Live from Chicago's NBC5, this is NBC5 News.
As people take to dating sites and social media, they're writing more and more about themselves, but apparently not doing a very good job of it. Rob Biesenbach, author of Act Like You Mean Business, Essential Communication Lessons from Stage and Screen, is here at Studio 5 to get all of those overused words out of our system. Good morning. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Stephen.
This is interesting. So words that people use too often, maybe not just on social media, maybe in their everyday conversations. What are some of those overused words?
Well, it's not so much the words, but the way they use them. They describe themselves very literally. They say, I'm smart, I'm funny, I'm adventurous. You hear that over and over again, from profile to profile. But my thing is, instead of saying you're smart, talk about the last book you read. Instead of saying you're funny, be funny. Instead of saying you're adventurous, show us a picture of your whitewater rafting trip. It's all about show, don't tell.
Show, don't tell. And that's an interesting concept. That's something we use in television all the time, is actually show a picture of something or describe something. And how have you found this to work with clients that you used in corporate communications?
Well, lots of ways. Words are just one way to get your point across, as you know. There's visuals, there's heightened expression and emotion, there's action. So in a presentation, you see these presentations all the time where executives are up there with their PowerPoint, lots of words, and they're reading off the screen. But you think about Steve Jobs. Among his many gifts, he was a master showman. So when he did his presentations, he would have great big pictures, beautiful images, a couple of words, and he wasn't reading off of his slides. And that's the model that we should emulate.
So is there essentially an element of keep it simple as well?
Yeah, keep it simple, keep it visual, keep your audience entertained. There's nothing wrong with entertaining people.
You're back, as I mentioned, corporate communications is what you do. You also have an acting background as well.
Right.
You studied the Second City. Acting, I guess, from the stage to the boardroom. What are some of the comparisons in communication that you've found, and how can people learn from that?
Well, acting taught me a lot of lessons that I thought could apply to business. Things like connecting with your audience, often connecting with them on an emotional level, because facts alone don't always persuade people. Show, don't tell, expressing yourself visually, telling stories. All of these are great lessons that we can all use in our everyday lives.
Absolutely. And it's interesting. How did you make that connection to acting?
Well, I just started acting. I think because I was in PR, I was always maybe a performer at heart. So I got into the acting and I enjoyed it. And I just saw a bunch of parallels. And my clients started benefiting from the creativity I was bringing to the job.
Actions speak louder than words. Presentations, trying to get people engaged and motivated. What are some other scenarios you find people could be using these techniques?
Like in a job interview, Ricky Gervais, before he was famous, he went to BBC with an idea for a show called The Office. And it was successful, obviously. They agreed to produce the show. And later on, the executive said it wasn't so much what Ricky Gervais said, but how he said it. He was so passionate and enthusiastic, they couldn't help believing in what he was saying. So if you're going to a job interview, find a way to talk about your passions and be enthusiastic, and that's a way to stand out from the crowd.
Absolutely. This is all in the book, Act Like You Mean Business, Essential Communication Lessons from Stage and Screen. Thanks for coming in this morning.
All right.
Great to see you. Appreciate it.